HHB. Harassment. Let's see, like, did you get it? Here's the determination later on. So, now I forget what it said.
I heard they were going to overhaul some things, but we haven't seen any directives yet.
Remember what it said now? 2H. Harassment.
For those of you I gave out middle school yearbook, middle school literary magazine, and the schedule, but I only have 3 high school yearbooks. That's all I had left. So if anybody wants one, there's only 3 here. But if you'd like to take one, you can grab one an hour on the way out.
I was going to say I would have to the high school parents.
Yeah, I'll take one. That's an extra.
I'll ask for one. Buy one, but I'll ask for one. Did it start yet, or?
Yes.
Oh, did I click the wrong? maybe I clicked the
Nikisha.
wrong link?
Can you change my name?
Why does it say that? Why is it misspelled here? Is that something you typed?
No, it's, well, yeah, just because I didn't type my name in this one either.
Okay, it must be a Zoom setting.
Oh, it just it auto-populated.
I did. Let me know if you got it. It must be a setting in Zoom, Lauren. I'm gonna look. I will look. They are on, and you do have quorum if you'd like to start.
And I'm here.
I can show her how to do it.
Okay.
Lauren, you care if I come over and show you?
Oh, thank you.
I changed it already, Kristen.
Oh,
I'll show you.
she's too quick. Make it
The triple dots?
On the right side?
Yeah, I thought maybe she didn't have it or something.
No,
I don't have the dots.
no. If you click on participant and then panelist come up, you can hover next to your name and it says rename.
Oh, okay. You can go to the website. Go to the website and log in as a public member, and I will promote you to panelist.
Okay, so we will start. Welcome, everybody. Oh, there's bigger ones than whatever. All right. Good evening, everyone. We are in our public meeting. Mrs. Ramba, will you please lead us in the pledge?
Flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Fort Lee Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published on September 29th, 2020, and posted on the district website at www.flboe.com, published in the board's designated online media outlet newspaper, The Record, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Fort Lee, and mailed to all persons, if any, who have requested said notice. Please be advised that this meeting is being taped and may be broadcasted on TV and the district's website at a future date. The Open Public Meeting Act allows for remote participation at board meetings and defines meeting as any gathering, whether corporeal or by means of communication equipment, which is attended by or open to all meetings of the members of a public body held with the intent on the part of the members of the body present to discuss or act as a unit upon the specific public business of that body. Roll call, please.
Ms. Cho. Ms. Colbath. Mr. DeMeglio.
Here.
Morel. Ms. Richter.
Here.
Ms. Ramba.
Here.
Mr. Rubino.
Here.
Ms. Tuck. Ms. Hansilver.
Here.
You have quorum.
The board convened executive session at 6:30 today to discuss legal, personnel, and other confidential matters. Mr. Rhoda, will you begin by sharing the superintendent's report?
Thank you, Mrs. Hunt Silver. I'll start with the easy one. There are no HIB investigations since the last meeting, so there is nothing to report. More importantly, I'll report that we had a successful opening of the intermediate school, grades 5 and 6, to go along with our opening last week of the pre-K through 4 and the pre-K through 6 self-contained program. So far so good. We had a good day today. Things seem to go well. I got a report from Mrs. Ruska this afternoon that everything had gone according to plan. So we continue to move. And right now, as I said earlier, we only have been through the cycle, not even one full time yet. Today was day 1 for 5-6. So we will continue to watch, monitor the situation, evaluate what happens, make changes as we need to. But so far, 1 day down and with the 5-6 and 3 days down with the K4, and we keep moving forward. That's all I have, Ms. Sonsilver.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think we're all excited to see the district moving forward. And like you said, it's something fluid, and we're always going to be making adjustments as needed. So let's keep moving on. Do we have any?
Ms. Sonsilver, let me add just one thing that came up
Sure.
earlier. As of now, we are on track to open the middle school and the high school on or around October 18th, as we had planned. The exact date, we'll send out communication to the parents and when we're ready to go.
Okay. I think that'll be good news for the middle school and high school parents. Do we have any committee reports?
I do have a committee report, but before I start, is it possible, I see we have quite a few attendees, but is the link on the website working for everyone to get on? I got a text message that somebody was attempting to get on but could not. Okay. Well, maybe we can shoot a note to Jason. I do notice that there are quite a few members of the public, so I'll
reach
proceed.
out to Mr. Ruggiero now and see if he can check.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for checking that. I am going to move into the Equity Committee report. So 3 basic areas were covered. First, we received a report from Ms. Baker on the Equity Task Force within the district. They're doing a lot of data-driven work based on discrepancies in test scores and placements, etc. They talked about their action plans and goals. We discussed the desire to include additional stakeholders, students first and community members as well in this important work. We also discussed supporting virtual events with speakers on the topic of diversity, equity, and inclusion for staff, which is already happening, but also for our students and parents. We went over the Racial Justice Board resolution that was passed unanimously several meetings ago at this point, and got updates from the administration on the bullet points for that resolution. And finally, we discussed equity in virtual learning. A highlight here was capturing data, whether our issues, for example, are connectivity or user-based. So we'd know if tech education was required versus doing better partnerships on the connectivity end, although Mr. Rhoda did confirm that we are at 100% connectivity currently. We also talked about the hybrid versus virtual learners and capturing data through Genesis. I had one other report, which is from Governor Murphy's town hall. The good news is, out of the 43,000 public school buildings in New Jersey, only 11 buildings had cases at the time. This was last week. Unfortunately, there was a headline this morning from Bergen County, so I don't know that that number is accurate anymore, but overall those numbers are encouraging that things are overall operating and opening safely. The other important point to highlight was around the budget. The state, as we all know, has had to borrow money to balance this year's budget. And so the governor spoke about the plan to make up continued state aid going forward. And to summarize, they are anticipating revenue from the millionaire's tax, federal money, revenue from the recovering economy, and potentially the legalization of cannabis, which is on the ballot now with the social justice component, but also tax revenue, potential tax revenue. This is all relevant for us because none of these are a sure thing. Finally, board members on the governor during this town hall advocated for coordination and alignment of responses and communication, which was something that was also mentioned at our county board meeting last week. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for that report. I don't know, do you want to talk about, oh, you're muted. Oh. Wait, are you logged in, Paula?
You gotta go to the bottom left, bottom left.
We don't see you. Wait, Hakisha.
I get a text message that people can't log in still.
Are you, you may not be a panelist. We don't see you though. Did you? No, but no one can hear you though. No one can hear you though.
Was part of that budget, and so our 11F, I think it was the last meeting, this really counts. Yeah, okay.
The program.
Adding one final point to the state budget, at our last meeting, we passed a resolution advocating for the inclusion of mental health monies in the state budget that had been removed, and there is good news to report that has been put back into the budget.
Okay, thank you. All right, give us just a second. I just want to make sure, Paula, that you're on as a panelist.
I just activated.
Oh, okay.
A lot of things that people can't get on.
Yeah,
They just said-
I got a bunch of texts.
Yeah.
Scroll down.
I
So
got
I
like
just
7
went to the
texts.
website and selected it, and it took me there.
What's that?
I just went to the, Holly said the same thing. I went to the home page, clicked it, and it put me in. So you saw two of me because I was on, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll do it again.
All right. I do want to make sure that we have everybody on.
In emails?
Scroll down and cut paste.
All right. While everyone's working on that, I do want to commend the work that the district's equity task force has been doing. Mr. Rhoda, I think it was formed, what, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago? How long ago?
At the beginning of the last school year of 2019 is when they formally came together. The prior summer, several members had attended an equity workshop at Trenton State College and, College in New Jersey, and other workshops. And then they came together in the fall and formed this task force to start moving things forward within the district.
Okay. No, so it's great. I think, our district should be commended for, having the foresight to create this group and, going forward with this group and starting this important work over a year ago. And I think it's great that the board is involved and that the board is supportive of this, especially because there were some, sometimes you watch other board meetings just to see what's going on in other districts. And I have to say that even the topic of equity is considered controversial in other districts, Bergen County or even other counties, in central or southern Jersey. But even in Bergen County, it's considered a controversial topic for a board to tackle equity as, something to, work on. So thank you to our board members and, all the district administrators for, really working on this and taking this on as something that we want to work on and take this seriously. So we will move on. Hopefully.
President Hansilver, I just spoke
Yes.
with Jason. He shared that there was a typo in one of the links on the website. There are 2 spots where the links are held. Anyone who's attempting to get on can simply refresh the page. He has updated the one link that had a typo.
Okay.
Refresh the page.
Refresh the home page where it's listed, where they're clicking. He fixed it 20 minutes ago, he said.
Okay. So maybe people who had saved the link earlier had an old link. Okay. Or something like that. All right. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Okay. So, do board members have questions or comments on tonight's agenda or any other topic? Let's see. Yes, I know there were. I know that. Okay. All right. So, Mrs. Colbert, I believe there are some outstanding questions. And I think the committee discussed some of the proposed changes to 1 POL. I think there were significant changes. So I think the committee does want to review and discuss those changes. So there is a motion to pull 1 POL. Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. Postpone 1 POL. If someone would like to make a motion to postpone 1 POL.
Motion.
Okay, so motion Ramba, seconded Morale.
Yes.
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 Okay, you were muted, so I will just repeat that the motion passes.
Sorry.
All right. Are there any other questions or comments on the agenda? I just want to make sure everyone who wants to log on has a chance to. Okay. Oh, thank you.
I'm still getting text messages from people.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Cho.
So I did have a question about the summary of nursing services. And I'm
That's
sorry
right.
to email you before that, before the meeting today. But there was a number at School 4 in particular where when it came to glucose testing, insulin pump management, it's a number of 421. Would you know, is that over the course of a year or what's that exactly? That number, it's pretty high, and that sounds like it's a lot of nursing happening. So I just wanted to know if I could get a better idea as to what that number means.
Joe, I'd have to look into that. I don't know off the top of my head what exactly that refers to.
Okay, sorry.
You give me the specifics again, and I'll check it out.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
picture.
I'll email it to you because I mean that's a lot of time. It's very time consuming to do all that stuff. So that's why I didn't know if it would make sense because it sounds like from the number that she had with first aid splinting and the glucose testing, it's pretty high compared to the other schools. So just want to make sure she's not inundated with too much work and has enough support. If that makes sense.
Okay. I'll follow up if.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Let me just move along. Let's go back. All right. If there's no other comments on the agenda from the board, I will ask for a motion to open the floor to the public.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion Tuck, seconded by Ramba. All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor? Okay, thank you. Any opposed or abstentions? All right. Board Secretary Keisha Taylor will share how the public comment session is conducted. For those of you who haven't joined us in our last two meetings, we have made a slight adjustment to how we do public comment. If you do ask a question, Mr. Rhoda or myself will answer the questions at the end after we have closed the floor to the public. So we just want you to know that's how we're doing it. So please don't think that we are blatantly ignoring you or trying not to answer your question. We are trying to do it in a more efficient manner. All right, so I will hand it over to Ms. Keisha Taylor.
Thank you, President Hans Silver. Good evening. We will use the raise hand feature of Zoom to identify the order in which public comments will be shared. If you have a public comment to share, please select participants from the bottom center of your Zoom screen. From there, select the raise hand button from the bottom right-hand corner. I will recognize each community member in the order of the raised hands by lowering the hand and unmuting the microphone. Please then state your name and home address for the record and begin your comments. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Are there any questions from the public? I see no raised hands, President Hansover. Okay, 5 Victoria Place, I'm promoting you to panelists. Please feel free to share your video and your comment. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Hello, yes, I'm Margarita Vigodner and 5 Victoria Place, 14. So I would like to know more details about the state of the middle school and what prevents it from the opening. That's my first question. And I also would like to emphasize that as we have the, inside dining opened up and malls opened up and gyms opened up, of course we may see some increase in cases, but I encourage the board members to actually work with the CDC indicators of the risk of the school openings and present the meaningful data to the public, because we definitely can have some increase here and there in cases. We already see it. Schools were open just for 2 days, right? The incubation period is 10 days. Because, I was at Red Lobster last week. It's full inside. We were sitting outside, but it's full inside. So, of course, there might be some increase. I'm working on 34th Street. I was there today. Macy's is open. All the malls are open on the 34th Street. People are shopping in masks. So we have to understand that, if we have malls opens, if you have inside dining opens, really inside dining you cannot wear masks, so that's the highest risk. So schools with the masks is not a high risk as relatively to other places. So when someone, for example, Elisa Choi put information on the school parents website, Fort Lee school parents, the 25 new cases, parents wanted to inform you. It's like, are 3 hairs, it's a lot or not? In the soup, it's too many, right? On the head, it's not enough, 3 hairs, right? So really, I encourage board members, put the numbers, what is 25, as it related to transmission rate, as it related to recommendation of CDC, not just to introduce the panic. From the board members, we would like to hear more about the actions that are being taken in order to open the school, an explanation why in the mid of October, the middle school is still not ready to opening. So I encourage the board members, actually, if they're not scientists and they are not doctors who specialize specifically in epidemiology and school opening, not to introduce panic and give some kind of information that regular people cannot digest, okay? We would rather want to see your actions for opening of the schools. So that's basically, and when it all started, the death rate was about 3%, right? So it was, the flu is 0.1. So it was really, it was a disaster. It's still a very serious virus, but the death rate is now 0.5, 0.6%. The flu is 0.1. We have thousands of kids being sick every winter, right? In Fort Lee. We don't report, we have 5,000, 10,000 kids. So 25 cases and 40 cases and 50 cases have to come with proportion, okay? And this is the data. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. The next person we have. Bear with me. I'm having some technical difficulties. There we go. Participants. Tanya B., I am promoting you to panelists. Please feel free to share your video as well as your comment. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Yep.
Tanya B.
Yep, just let the dog out, Sophia. Oh, hi. I live at 270. My name is Tanya Byers-Kang. I live at 275 Tom Hunter Road. I just wanted to bring up a couple different things. These are just comments. Things are going amazing at the elementary school level. At school number 1, the children are really happy to be in school and learning and seeing their friends. Everything seems great, but it was brought to my attention today by one of the parents that they had thought that there were maybe some children at home alone. So anyway, we looked further into it. The child wasn't actually home alone, but it did bring up a thought, like if there are any children that are home alone, and if they are, you know, we have people in the community that are stay-at-home moms that have space, that were willing to help. And there's more that, you know, there's a good number of people that are willing to help. So we don't necessarily need to, you know, do anything drastic or anything, but I just wanted to know, like, just at school number 1, definitely the teachers are going to be alert because that was something that was brought up today. But that was just something I was thinking that maybe we could do across the district in the elementary schools because those children are young. If we could just ask the teachers to be mindful if they notice a child who seems to be at home alone, and then kind of go from there. So that was my one thought. And then my other thought was the middle school. The middle school, the learning is incredible. The children are learning. I feel like the grades are good. I feel like I see a tremendous amount of socialization going on as far as soccer and bicycle riding and all different things. So their marking period ends on November 11th. So it's already almost the end of the first marking period. And then we're gonna switch it up. I just wanted to bring that really quick. So that I'm kind of like on the fence with switching it up because they've been able to see every teacher every day now. And I think that's been wonderful. It's been consistent. And, you know, we're getting ready to open supposedly on the 19th, hopefully if the building's ready, you know, that I don't know yes or no about that, but I just thinking academically with the grades, the consistency of the children having every teacher every day for a certain amount of time has been very impactful. I know my time's running out, but I'm going to be really try to say this quickly. I feel that if we have space, as many people, as many children whose parents want their children educated, or the special needs children or children who need, I know that buzzer is going to go off and I really want to get this out, so I'm just going to say it. So if a child has a learning disability, is a little bit behind and needs to be in class, I'm willing to give my seat of my daughter to another child that needs it so that they can go more. I think that that is something that, you know, every child that we can get in the building whose parents want them in the building, if we can, that would be great. Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks, Tanya. There are no more raised hands, Ms. Hansover.
Okay. All right. Seeing no more raised hands, I will ask for a motion to close the floor to the public.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Motion Morel, seconded by Richter. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Actually, I'm opposed. There is a hand that's up, so.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Hold on. Let me try to. All right. Give us 1 second. Okay. Well, there is one. I can't. Hold on 1 second.
You know what?
I'll see.
Oh, I disconnected to my phone. I thought I.
Yeah.
I can't hear any.
We can hear you.
I can't hear the public.
There's a new one in that bag. That's brand new.
Yeah. We did have an objection to closing public because there is a hand raised. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. We technically did close, right?
Correct?
Okay. So we need a motion to reopen to the public.
Motion.
Okay. Motion Morel, seconded by Ramba. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? All right. We will allow Miss Katerina.
Katerina, I've promoted you to panelist. Please feel free to share your video. Please share your name and your address. You have 3 minutes. Katerina?
Yes, hello. I just wanted to say I'm so glad that school is starting and everyone is working very hard. And then I just wanted to ask how lunch is going to work for the high schoolers because, you know, they take off their mask and eat. So how would that work? Has that been put into consideration?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that question. All right, I guess that's it. So now we will close the floor to the public again so we can answer all the questions.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion Morel, seconded by DeMeglio. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay. All right. Okay.
Since we're all Mike, since we're all here, you can just listen. No, but I'm saying now, yeah, now it's public's over, so you can just listen.
All right, Mr. Rhoda, I will let you answer. I will let you, once you're settled, I'll let you answer the questions we had.
Sorry about that. We okay? Okay, Mrs. Hans Silver, would you like to continue or?
Mr. Rhoda, if you'll go ahead and just answer the questions that we had from public
Sure.
comment.
No problem. First, to talk about the middle school opening is being delayed due to staffing concerns. We are having difficulty isolating staff with the appropriate certification at that level. That's proving to be a challenge. As I explained to the board earlier, the staffing situation changes almost daily as the staff members are affected by closures and other school changes. So we're making adjustments as quickly as we can. As far as the building itself and allowing more students in, we are working with the Fort Lee Health Department and also the New Jersey Department of Education when we create our plans and talk about reopening the buildings and how quickly and how many students are permitted in. So we're going very slowly and cautiously. That's the direction we've been taking as of now. So I don't have numbers or hard science. I'm going on recommendations that I receive from the health professionals that we work with. Mrs. Byers mentioned the middle school schedule. We are looking at that and evaluating that constantly. There is a discussion about keeping it consistent when the hybrid begins. So we're still having that discussion. We're ready to go either way. And the last question dealt with the lunch at the high school. The high school is unique in that students are permitted to leave the building during the lunch period. So as a practice, the students have left generally on a regular basis. We have students leaving. Based on the hybrid model, we will have space in the cafeteria and in the auditorium for the other students who remain to be distanced safely and socially and still have the opportunity to eat and to do that without any concerns. So the lunch for the high school will be, as I said, it'll be open campus as it's been. Students will be allowed to leave for lunch, and the ones who remain will have sufficient space to make sure they are safely distanced. I believe that was it, Ms. Sonsilver.
Yes, I think so. Those were the 3 comments that we had. And we'll move along with our agenda. Thank you. Moving on to the resolutions. May I have a motion to approve items 1B through 3B?
Motion, Rambo.
Second.
Motion Ramba, seconded by Morel.
Ms. Cho? Ms. Cho?
Yes.
Ms. Colbath?
Yes.
Mr. DeMeglio?
Yes.
Ms. Morel?
Yes.
Ms. Richter?
Yes.
Ms. Ramba?
Yes.
Mr. Rubino?
Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Ms. Han Silver?
Yes.
Motion passes.
May I have a motion to approve items 1 CUR through 3 CUR?
Motion Tuck.
Second.
Motion Tuck, seconded by Morel.
Ms. Cho? Ms. Colbath?
Yes.
Mr. DeMeglio?
Yes.
Ms. Morel?
Yes.
Ms. Richter?
Yes.
Ms. Ramba?
Yes.
Mr. Rubino? Ms. Tuck? Ms. Han Silver?
Yes.
Motion passes.
May I have a motion to approve items 1F through 5F?
Motion, Rambo.
Second.
Motion Ramba, seconded by Morel.
Ms. Cho?
Yes.
Ms. Colbath?
Yes.
Mr. DeMeglio?
Yes.
Ms. Morel?
Yes.
Ms. Richter?
Yes.
Ms. Ramba?
Yes.
Mr. Rubino?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Ms. Han Silver?
Yes.
Motion passes.
May I have a motion to approve items 1P through 20P?
Motion.
Second, Rambo. Second.
Okay, motion Morel, seconded by DeMeglio.
Ms. Cho?
Yes.
Ms. Colbath?
Yes.
Mr. DeMeglio?
Yes.
Ms. Morel?
Yes.
Ms. Richter?
Yes.
Ms. Ramba?
Yes.
Mr. Rubino?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Ms. Han Silver?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, moving on. Is there any old business? Oh, geez. Any old business from anybody?
I don't know if it's old or new, but I think as a group, we should like do a symbolic standing ovation for all of our teachers who are
doing this remote and in person, and I think it's tremendously trying for them, and also the administration, because these are very challenging. Safety is our big thing, and this puts an overlay that no one ever expected. So I would like us all to just do a symbolic standing ovation.
To follow up on that, Ms. Colbath, today is actually World Tea Day.
Yeah. And Paul, as the teacher, I appreciate that because I've been teaching for 30 some odd years and there's nothing like this before they've ever done. You know, I don't stress out very easily, and this is just, so I appreciate what everyone else is doing because I know how difficult it is. I don't know if Ms. Victor can join in on that because she actually is a kids in person also. So thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, any new business?
I would add on that very positive sentiment, a congratulations to all of our athletic teams that are off to a great start.
Yes, thank you. And actually, I also do want to tell everybody that you can actually watch the varsity events on YouTube. It's being live streamed. Our home events and actually some of the away events. I think they might even try to do some of the away events. You can watch it on YouTube. It will be live streamed, which is pretty exciting. So you can watch it from the comfort of your home. So the events have started, and it's pretty exciting. So kudos to our athletes who are trying to forge ahead with all and following all the guidelines and trying to do it in a safe manner. So yeah, so it's exciting for our students and our athletes.
I guess this is kind of a question, but it has to do with the athletes. So I saw that other districts were planning like their senior nights kind of early, just in case things get canceled. Is there any plan for Fort Lee to do senior night on the early side rather than waiting till the end of the season?
I had that discussion with Mr. Raftery today, and he's working on it.
Better to be safe so that they can get their recognition now. Very true. Okay. All right. I don't believe there's any other new business. So may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Okay.
Anybody?
Motion Morrell, seconded by Mr. Rubino. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? All right. Thank everyone for joining us and for your patience. Thank you all. Have a good evening.